get to the big number, and it kind of has to do with oil. 4,500, excuse me. That is the average amount Ford announced they'll cut prices on all models of its new 2023 Mustang Mach-E crossover, and is set to increase production for their new electric vehicles. The move was in direct response to Tesla's recent price reduction, as Ford stated they're looking to stay competitive. Garrett, do you think the reduced prices for EVs will increase demand and help push the electric future? Or are there other issues that might stop the push in its tracks?
I love how you ask me questions that you know where my bias sits, so you're just trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah.
Look, the issue is going to be lithium prices moving forward, and Tesla, uh, Musk being Musk, he kind of sets the tone. You still have a lot of government subsidies. The subsidies are going to be a major component of this moving forward. But look, I think you have to think about the lithium component, which is going to be critical. Lithium demand is apparently going to go up like 40 times where it is today over the next 20 years. The other thing is just the charging. Are we going to build the infrastructure? Is Mayor Pete going to actually do his job and help lead all this stuff? I don't know. But again, I'm trying to get my carbon footprint up, Vaz. I don't leave the house enough.
Well, Barry J saying angry Garrett makes us money. So sorry, Garrett, we are going to torture you so we can get those doll hairs. Shaw, we're going to get going into EV a little more later. But do you see electric cars making big moves this year as the state of economy is, kind of making consumers tighten up their belts? It's expensive. EV's expensive,
EVs are expensive, and that's the reason the Ford's cutting the price. That's the reason Tesla's cutting the price. They're also cutting prices, not just to spur demand, which is obviously makes sense, but in order to stay within the realm of getting these government handouts. And I think without these rebates and the other incentives that they're being offered, which will eventually end, especially if we see a Republican administration, then they're going to be in trouble. But right now, that's the path that everybody's going down. As far as this year and EVs, everybody knows that EVs are the future. And everything that Garrett brought up is front and center, not back burner. And there's going to be a problem going forward, whether it's charging stations, whether it's lithium, whether it's battery storage, et cetera, pricing. So I'm not sure it's going to be an easy run. I think it's going to be a volatile year for EVs. They're going to be great to trade this year.
Well, great to trade. Shaw, get this. Yesterday, while the EV sector was getting kind of crushed, Carvana went on a tear. Guys, the stock even had to be halted. Kenny Glick was all over this one with his whiteboard. So, Kenny, what were you seeing in this stock with the VWAP?
I call it the revenge of Shah. You set this free. Remember a month and a half ago when we left the stock for dead, and we've been trading it long ever since. It's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, it just keeps coming back. It started very subtle yesterday. The volume wasn't even there. It just started picking up, and it just feeds on itself. People are flush with cash, looking for something to do with it. It's back. That environment is back, and just people are chasing what's moving, and that's the name of the game right now. And if you have VWAP and my famous money lines, you can navigate any of these names. So it's been a real nice start to the year. And listen, I'm going to talk to Shah later on. I need 5 more worthless companies that are about to go up 9,000%, because that is where we're at right now. These companies are garbage. They're all going to zero eventually, but right now people are just ripping them back and forth. It's so a lot of fun.
Hey, one trader's trash is another trader's treasure. That's why we all work together in this community. Hey, speaking of poppin', what just happened in the market, guys? There's some news out. Kenny, what are you watching? Or was there some economic data?
There's usually buy programs that come around, 8:30, but I'm not sure if there's any specific economic data. I know that we're just all sitting around waiting for the Fed, but some small banks came out with earnings, so I don't know, just watching the crazies and watching the earnings. A lot of stocks to watch today.